Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? It's Stormybman, and I am back. This is what it is. This is what it is. Welcome, welcome. This is the first output for the Kingdom and States. That's featuring Stormybman and Lozz Punch Out TV, where we get a little East and West going on with the conversation of boxing. So, with no further ado, I want to introduce my man Lozz. What's going on, Lozz? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. You?
It's all good. I want to tell our listening audience, please excuse a little bit of noise in my background. Stormybman got the laundry going again, and it's a little bit of a noise from the dryer. But that's all that is. It'll stop shortly. But we are ready and anxious to kick this off. Come up with this little idea to do a collaboration with my man Lozz, and he was willingly to accept it. So this is what it is. So Lozz, tell the people, first of all, tell them how they can find you out here on YouTube, man.
Hey, you can find me at Lozz Punch Out TV on YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook at Lozz Dawkins Punch Out TV.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You don't have to sound so sad there, Lozz, man. This is a good thing, man. We got this collaboration going, bro. You know, and it's on the heels of something that took place recently that will allow us to get a great Eastern and Western perspective, which I thought it was kind of timely. My intent was to get us kicking this off a little early, but Stormybman fell victim to a nap. And when y'all get a little older, you young bloods out there ripping and running the streets, you'll come to appreciate a nap. And I ain't talking about the type on the top of your head either. You keep your head combed, you ain't got to worry about naps up top. But when you get a little tired, you be worried about that nap in that easy chair like Stormybman do. So that's what that's all about. I want to say, take a moment and shout out to people that have come into our chat, Lozz. We got Shadow979. He says salute Stormybman. Kenneth Johnson is out there. He says salute at Stormybman and Lozz. Act Reacher is out there. He says salute. Yasir Hussein says salute. And as Kenneth Johnson got a personal message for Act. Wookie Wook says salute Stormy. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens says salute my peoples. Salute to you, my brother Reggie. Yeah, you see, Reggie, I got Lozz out here, man. I snatched him away from the UK, man. So he is truly and officially. That's right. That's right. Let's see who else we got out there. Everybody else is greeting each other. So, coming into this weekend, man, everybody bout where Joshua had vowed to go on in there and go for what he know and try to get his titles back. Many people were hoping that Andy Ruiz would be able to pull a repeat, But in light of things that led up to the fight shortly, including where the venue would be over in Saudi Arabia, whether people were losing weight or gaining weight between the training camps, and then finally the drama that unfolded at the weigh-in. So, Lozz, I'm going to ask you, bro, we need to hear a voice from your side of the pond. How did you see this promotion build up and leading up to fight night, including the weigh-in? Just give us your perspective on how you saw things coming down.
First of all, I thought the promotion side of it wasn't as big as what I thought it was going to be, but it was quite good over here, only because like Sky TV was opening it. But the weigh-in wise, when I seen that Ruiz was weighing, what was it, 20 stone plus, seen that AJ was weighing in at 16 stone, I think it was 13. I sort of thought to myself, advantage of Ruiz being overweight and AJ coming underweight, does that play into AJ's factor? You know what I mean?
You done, Lozz? You got something else to say?
Oh no, just that, bro. I didn't know if you could still hear me.
Yeah, I hear you just fine. But I was just I wanted to know also, or everybody, we want to know what you think that weigh-in, man, to see that Andy Ruiz came in as heavy as he did. That changed. I know for me it did. It changed a lot of my perspective looking at the fight going forward. I just didn't like how things were, after seeing that, it was like, man, you had to do some reconsideration on a lot of things. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man.
You're right, bro.
It brought me down. It did. It brought me down. And when I saw his performance in the first 3 rounds, because I give him 3, I give him 3 rounds to see what he was going to try to do or whatever. And when I saw the very same things, rounds 1 through 3, then I was like, I totally checked out on any faith in him at all. And I really got insulted with him in that 12th round when he started to pound his chest and gesture at Joshua like, hey, come on, let's bring it, let's fight, And I'm like, really? You gonna do that now? And the fight is over, dude. You're over. So that's how I saw that, man. And I really didn't like it. And I'm sorry. It was lackluster on his behalf. Joshua deserved the win, but I did not like the approach by somebody who appeared going into this rematch very content with what he had accomplished. What's your take?
I fully agree with you, bro. And we spoke about this last night on my live stream. For somebody, I think you said last night that somebody 6 months ago was underweight and in shape for his type of physique or what he is, to come in. I could be wrong. I don't know if he's a stone overweight champion in the world, and you just shocked the world. You beat the man what a lot of people will try and say was the main man in the heavyweight division. I'm not saying he was the main man weight division, but what the media was saying, or fans were saying, he was the main man because he captured the belts. You shocked the world. You bounced him all around that ring in the first fight like a basketball. When to the second fight, he overweight. In my eyes, Stormy, I think he did what Joshua did to him in the first fight. I think Joshua overlooked him in the first fight, and I think Andy Ruiz overlooked Joshua in the second fight. Joshua, I said this last night. I give Joshua credit because he went back to the drawing board. Okay, it's not the type of fight that because it was quite lackluster, a bit of a snooze fest. Jabbing, moving, right hand, moving, clinching. But he needed to do what he needed to do. And I think Andy Ruiz is to blame himself for the reason why he lost, because he should have. Whether the fame got to him or not, I don't know, bro. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, for me, it appeared that he gave us an indication of where he was mentally with his approach to this fight. And he gave several interviews where he said that he had made his dreams come true. To me, at that point, he had resigned to the fact that I won the title. I'm the first Mexican heavyweight champion in history. I've secured a financial means that I had never seen up to this point, and I'm going to celebrate it. And, you know, there were no more giants for him to slay. And he approached the rematch as that. Now, had he approached the rematch with a different set of ideals, saying like, hey, it's not over, the job is not complete, because he knew he had a rematch clause. You see, if he didn't know he had a rematch clause, or if there was no rematch clause and they just decided to do it again, then you could speak otherwise. But what he came across with was the fact that he was content. He done something and he was done. But we didn't know that, because this is professional boxing, and we were expecting the fighters to get prepared for the rematch and go in there and give us a show. Andy got prepared for the buffet, and he was going to live it like he ain't never lived it before. And there's nothing wrong with that if this is the end for you. If this is the end game for you, then let it be the damn end game. Nothing was more disconcerting than even when the fight was over, he gonna come over there and step in front of the cameras while they're interviewing Joshua and say, hey man, let's do it one more time. 3, let's make it a trilogy. I'm like, are you serious? Who would pay to watch you come in there with belly fat all over the ring and everything, not throwing any punches? Do you really seriously think boxing fans want to see that? You were okay as a teddy bear, okay, who won the title and everything, but you didn't bring anything that you brought the first fight. You're an insult to the sport, and you're an insult to people who tried to get behind you and support you. I'm sorry, I just have to tell it like it is, man. The dude, he would be better off doing commercials for edible items going forward. Leave boxing alone, because it's obvious that that's where, he wants to put the bulk of his time anyway, shoving something down his mouth. So I hope that me saying this, he could hear it and get mad. But what you gonna do? Be mad and be fat. That's all.
That's a good point, that, B-Man. That really is a good point. Stormy, do you think that the fame got to him, and because he beat Joshua so easy in the first fight, do you think that he overlooked him and thought, do you think he thought, right, and the fame got to him, I don't need to train as hard?
No, the fat got to him. That's what got to him. Because how you gonna come in bigger than you were before? Seriously. And before, he was in shape.
He was, yeah.
20 pounds is not, because, and you say, they say, 16 pounds. No, 20 plus. Because don't forget, he got a chance to go and eat after he got off the fucking scale. Huh? So he could have been about 290 up in that mug. He sure moved like it. Jabba the Hutt with boxing gloves and trunks on. That's what he looked like. Huh? Anyway, let's go to the chat for a minute. We got more people out there. Smash that like button, people, as you come in, please. We got Lozz D on here with Stormybman today. Shadow 979 says, Lozz D, Punch Out TV, salute King. Kenneth Johnson is saluting Reggie Owens. Macadon 1 is out there. He says, salute Stormy and Lozz.
Macadon 1.
What do we say? We got more people greeting each other. Shadow 9 says, Andy Ruiz wasn't taking this fight seriously at all. Man just lost his hunger after the first fight. No, his hunger picked up, Shadow 9. It's obvious. And so did his weight. Boju Thibodeau is in there. He says, salute with the boxing gloves. And who else we got there? We got Lozz doing double duty in the chat. Shadow 979 says, unprofessional. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Huh? You coming out there like that. But I'm going to tell you something. Now, those rumors that took place after the first fight, when they were talking about, oh, he was feeling a little bad because people, you know, how his body looked or whatever, and he was talking about losing weight and everything. That didn't seem to be true either, huh? Because if he was worried about how people was looking at his weight, he sure didn't give a damn when he showed up there Saturday night, huh? With flab all over the place. Huh? I thought it was an oil spill or something. He coming out there looking like that. It's ridiculous, man. No, he should be. You know what? Just like we saluted him with his victory, we got to bring him back down to earth. Huh?
Yeah,
because we paid for this. People paid tickets, man. Huh? And people tuned in because they wanted to see a fight. They didn't want to fucking see a feast. Huh? Or someone who had feasted. Huh? This is fucking boxing, man. Not a damn hot dog eating contest. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
Do you think he overlooked Ruiz? Do you think he overlooked Joshua because the first time?
Only looking past him so he could see the damn dining hall. That's all. That's what he was looking past him for.
Oh, you're killing me.
Shit. Tony Boswell is in there. He says, salute Stormybman in the chat. Curtis Anderson is out there. What's good with you, Kurt? How you doing, brother? And he says, salute Stormybman and Lozz D. Shadow 979 says, at Akreacher, me too, man. I didn't want to see AJ and hold them belts hostage. I wanted to see Undisputed in 2020. Now that seems further away. And Akreacher has says, yeah, but Andy got me mad. He didn't even try. Yes, Akreacher, that's 100% true. He didn't try. You know? And the funny thing about it, if anybody watched that fight from the time that they were showing them getting ready, you know, for the main event, when AJ was in the locker room getting his hands wrapped, if you could see the look of trepidation on his face, he looked like a man that has been told, you're going to the gallows. You know, they're going to chop your head off today. That's the look he had on his face. He looked scared shitless. And this man who beat his ass the first time around didn't even take that and use it against him. Didn't even use the psychological aspect. Oh, I'm going to kill your ass this time. Last time I just beat you up. This time I'm going to kill you. You see, psychologically, he made Anthony Joshua not feel uncomfortable. He made him think, oh, this ain't so bad. Oh, I think I could do this. And then it turned into, I did it. Fuck that. I don't give guys, you know what? This is ridiculous, man. But
you're right, B-Man. You're right what you're saying, bro. You're right what you're saying.
No, I mean,
you know what?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go on. You touched on a vital part last night when I was in my live stream talking to you. I think you said something along the lines of Louise with like the last 30 seconds or 20 seconds to go. That beating on his chest. Come on. You all right? I think it was you. I'm sure it was you, B-Man, who said, why didn't you do that from the beginning? AJ ain't going to stand there and trade with you the last 30 seconds of the fight. That's when he knows he's way up on scorecards.
You know,
go on, bro.
I think he would have, if they were fighting over the last maximum size burrito on the plate, you would have got a better effort out of Ruiz Jr., man. AJ wouldn't have stood a chance. Or a big giant bag of Snickers and a lifetime supply to the winner. AJ would have been on the canvas probably in 35 seconds. Huh? Because this is what he's shown us. You have to look at it. Remember, Maya Angelou said it. She said, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time. Okay? When he got on that scale, he was showing us who he was. And then how could we possibly just totally deny that and then expect him to perform different in the fight? He had nothing, man. He had no speed. He had no movement. He had no aggression. Things that you need in a boxing match. It's like the only thing he had was the accessories. He had on gloves, trunks, and shoes, and a mouthpiece. The rest, you leave it up to indiscriminate, assessment. What was that? You or me could have got in there with Joshua and did what he did. And don't forget, he got paid millions for that crap.
Good point. I said to you, Stormy, did he overlook Joshua? Did he do what Joshua did to him in the first fight? I mean, because Joshua was training originally for Fat Dusty, wasn't he? Fat Dusty Miller. But then obviously because Fat Dusty popped dirty, had a look around. It was supposed to be Michael Hunter, it was supposed to be this, that and the other. And then they decided to choose Andrew Ruiz. Did Ruiz this time overlook Joshua? Because he beat the fuck out of Joshua in the first fight and bounced him all around the ring like a basketball. Did he think that it was an easy fight the second time round? No. Went back to the drawing board and did his basic, boring jab and hold. But it was effective. Ruiz, when he took that top off last night, even, like I said to you last night, B-Man, even my son said, wow, he's put weight on. His boobies, man. His boobs were all saggy and that. Not the way to conduct yourself as a heavyweight champion of the world.
Man, it's a shame, man. Because if he had just come in the same shape, weighing the same thing, he could have produced the same attitude and it probably wouldn't have been as bad. But because he came in so heavy, you just have to feel, hindsight being 2020, it didn't matter to him if he won or not. And that's scary because people pay, people pay. And they pay for, to see a show. You go to a boxing match and two dudes in the ring hugging each other for 10, 12 rounds, you're going to be like booing and everything, right? And if you go to a hockey game and they just start fighting and they don't play any hockey at all, people going to boo that. They don't mind fisticuffs breaking out in the midst of a game, but they going to really boo if you never even tried to hit the puck around some at least. Come on. Andy was a complete, he was a no-show, man. He was a no-show. And Joshua was scared to death. I never seen him look so fearful. That wasn't focused. That wasn't being dialed in. That wasn't a guy who had a single-minded option to get in there and do something. He was like worried because he got his ass whooped the first time. And where was the thug in Andy? You know, when you do beat somebody down like you beat him the first time, you know, where was that thug in him that said, man, let me go ahead and dust this mark off so we can move on to bigger and better things? It was non-existent because, like I said, every interview he did after that first fight, and we didn't listen to his ass. I was able to make my dreams come true. That's what he kept saying. He said that shit a whole lot, bro. We should have listened to him. But you ain't gonna fool me no more with that one. And nobody like him.
Oh, B, man. Where do we go now from here with this? Saying that is, you know, now AJ's pull back his titles and stuff, going back down the same road as 2017.
Yeah, Kurt Anderson is in the chat. He said Ruiz was lazy. He had no intentions on winning. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Especially now that it's over. You know, the process is completed. You had a chance to see everything come to a culmination, a finale. And that's just not how someone who wants to win does. But it is exactly a repeat of what happened with Buster Douglas. Now, I'll tell you something. Buster, 4 or 5 years later, did come back and redeem himself to a degree after almost going into a diabetic coma, which I think he actually did go into a diabetic coma because he went up to 400 pounds or something like that. And he had to get that weight off and everything. And he came back and he won some fights. He even had a couple of fights where he looked like his old self. And when I say his old self, Buster was a very good boxer. And he was beating up on a lot of contenders, which kept him in the top 6, 7 fighters in the world during the Mike Tyson reign. And I think the diabetic coma he suffered from took a little something and debilitated him as far as his punch resistance, because he got hit and shook up by a couple of guys in some fights where he ended up retiring. He just couldn't take certain kind of shots anymore. And it was good that he went on and got out of the sport. But he did try to come back. He did try to get a rematch with Mike Tyson. And it just didn't play out. But Andy Ruiz is going to look back on this, man, and he's going to see the missed opportunity. And then he's going to open up another bag of Snickers and forget all about it. I hate it had to go down like that. I wish it would have been more of a contest for the those titles that were on the line. Some people might look at like what I'm saying as an assault, like I hated that Joshua won. No, Joshua was right for the picking, man. And as a fighter, you have to be able to smell blood in the water. You have to be able to smell it, man. You don't make me change what I do. You change what you do. And this guy went out there, dropped a lot of muscle mass. He looked like he was, living on the streets like a bum or something. He was fucked up mentally, psychologically. He was done. When a man is done like that, put him in his coffin and close the lid and put the dirt on top of him. That's how you handle that. You don't let him come back thinking I still got another lifeline. Fuck no, you dead. But hey, in this age, with these guys who are fighting today, that's what can happen. Frankenstein can come back to life.
Facts.
So, Lozz, tell us what is it like over there in your country with now that this guy has come out victorious and has belts again? Is it as unbearable as I think it could be?
Well, I've got to go back to work tomorrow and then the rest of the week out. At this moment in time, that's a great point what you bit on. But it probably will be V-Man. It probably will be, because them Hearn Nazis will be out now. Now that AJ's got them titles back. But one thing I can say, what I do believe with the British public over here, Ruiz beat Joshua the first time. Wilder's gone on to ice Dominic Brazil and then ice fucking Luis Ortiz. Wilder's profile over here has grown big time, especially when he opened up that burger restaurant. I seen it was on the news over here, the BBC news over here. Thousands and thousands of people in the streets, lining the streets to get an autograph. I think Wilder over here now. Before Ruiz beat Joshua, people didn't have the time of day for Wilder over here. Only the hardcore boxing fans had time for him, because Eddie Hearn published the fans that Joshua was something. But since he got beat, and Ruiz showed how easy it was to beat him, since then, Wilder's done nothing wrong. Wilder's just gone on to have a string of knockouts. I honestly believe now, I think the pressure now is going to be on AJ even more than what it's ever been. Everything swings in Wilder's favour. He's got to fight Wilder now. He's got to fight him. Even if it means he gets stripped off a belt, he's got to fight Wilder. He's got to. I'm all for AJ, what he did last night. I can't take nothing away from him. He boxed a good fight. He did what he needed to do. Okay, it wasn't to everyone's, but shit's over. And I believe that the UK fans now, well, I think the pressure's on him now to fight Wilder.
What I found interesting was after the fight was over, they were calling him the baddest man on the planet and stuff. I was like, man, what propaganda this is like. They couldn't wait to start that hype machine all over again. You know, I mean, so what do you think from who you know that they have over there? How do you see 2020 unfolding for him with his regaining these titles that he has? What do you think?
I think 2020, right? You've got a fighter who only fights twice a year. This to Mike earlier tonight. I really don't know. I don't know how this plans out for him. WBO, as far as I'm aware, the WBO are calling for him to fight in. I could be wrong. Someone might have to re-correct me on this, but I think he's got something like 3 or 4 or 5 months to fight his mandate. I heard amount of days to fight his mandate. I'll be man. I don't know. I don't know what does he do? Does he use the title and get stripped and go on to fight Wilder? Does he, which I very much doubt? Did the IBF come out? I've not heard that the IBF have come out and said that he's got a fighter mandate yet, but we all know how strict the IBF are. I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I don't know what he does. I think he'll lose a belt somewhere. He'll either vacate a belt or he'll get stripped somewhere. But I believe, if the only thing I can say to your question, I think he might get stripped and he might fight Pulev next. That's the only thing I can think. He ain't going to fight Wilder. There's no way on that earth. There's no way that he's going to fight Wilder. I'm going to a few belts what he's got and probably lose a few belts somewhere along the line. That's the only thing I can say. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I'm asking that because there are some young fighters and some fighters that are on the cusp over there, like Joe Joyce, right? And you got Daniel Dubois. How are the boxing fans over in the UK taking those guys who are waiting around, or at least waiting in the wings, as they say, to get their title shots?
It is, man. People don't. There's a boxing fan, what I know of. Don't anyway. Not what I know of, B-man. People don't really talk about Daniel Dubois. Maybe boxing fans. I call boxing fans, but not casuals.
What about Joe Joyce?
Joe Joyce is seen as a comedian over here, bro.
No, well, I'm asking because I don't know. You know, over here, we're not hearing about these guys until they fight or something.
Yeah, people don't talk about Joe Joyce, bro. I know Shadow's in the chat. Shadow might be able to tell you. I don't hear it. Me personally, that's my personal view. Just the odd people talking about Daniel Dubois, but I think you don't hear people talking about Joe Joyce. What I know of, anyway.
Well, is there another heavyweight over there that's coming on the come up that people seem to be talking about?
No, just don't hear people talking about Joe Joyce or Daniel Dubois. Because I think he is, because they don't get the promotion like what AJ gets. AJ's, you got to think, B-man. AJ, from his very first fight, from when he won the Olympics, as soon as he won the Olympics, been signed him. And ever since then, AJ's been pumped in the UK public's face as the next best thing. You don't have to go on Google or YouTube and look at AJ's first fight and then look at the interview what Eddie Hearn does after. He's saying to everyone, jump on board. This guy's the next best fighter since Lennox Lewis. He's this, that and the other. Eddie's got... If Shadow's still in the chat, Eddie's got power over Shadow 979. If he's still in the chat, because he's a UK brother.
Well, I think he is.
If he's still in the chat, he might back me up on this. He might not. What I'm trying to say is, Eddie Hearn has always had power over Frank Warren because Frank's with BT Sports. Frank's old school promoter. Frank knows the lines, but he hasn't got the backing like what Eddie Hearn's got. He's got Sky. Sky are a major sports network over here. There's no network what can test with Sky over here. And that's the reason why AJ gets the publicity and the backing that he gets. A Matchroom, not that Matchroom's better than Frank Warren Promotions, it's just that are a hell of a lot bigger than BT. Yeah.
So what you're saying at the end of the day is that we're going to have to deal with this guy for a minute.
Yeah.
And
Thing is, B-Man, if Sky was to get rid of Eddie Hearn, then it'd be a different story. Ian's got Sky. I mean, I don't know what your major networks over there, because you've got so many. You've got ESPN, you've got Fox, you've got PBC, you've got loads, haven't you? I mean, I don't know what your sports networks are, but the ones what I can call are what ESPN, Fox. You've got different networks where we're quite basic over here. We've only got a couple. As I'm aware, we've only got Sky and BT, the major sports networks, and BT aren't on nowhere near the platform what Sky are. Nowhere near. And Sky's massive over here. BT can't touch them.
They even on some of our satellite stations here, satellite TV, they have multiple channels. So I know they got to be pretty big, like ESPN or something.
Yeah.
So
B-Man, Sky been around for years. And do you know what, B-Man? It's funny because BT stands for British Telecom. It's the British Telecommunications, the phone line. Government, but they ain't on nowhere on a par of Sky TV.
Yeah. So I know without the obvious being Wilder, who would you like to see get in the ring with this guy next year? Starting with who could possibly be the first title defense?
Good question, B-Man. That's a really good question.
It's gonna be a soft touch. You could believe that.
Yeah. I'd like him.
Huh?
I'd like B-Man.
It's gonna be a soft touch. I want to take it to the chat for a second. We got Jean Lejeune says, imagine if the U.S. government has supported Wilder in the UK, like the UK supports AJ. I bet Wilder has never even been to the White House, and AJ was knighted. And he also says AJ will probably fight Manuel Char. Wilder has been to the White House, believe it or not. He was there over the pardoning of Jack Johnson, I think it was. But so he was there at the White House, and he was there for a legitimate cause and showing support because the family invited him. But I will say this. A fighter like AJ is always going to get more press, more consideration and everything because he's not his own man. He's very impressionable and he's a yes guy. He gives them what they want from someone that has the position he has in the sport. And not being your own man is one of the things that they love to exploit. Who could ever forget about him riding around in that golf cart with the monkeys and everything? Huh? That right there, dude, he should have never been caught doing something like that. Because you know what the people said? Which one of them monkeys is AJ? Huh?
Yeah. That's
yeah.
That's what wrong, frankly, Joshua. Each person, bro. I believe that AJ is a decent guy, down to earth, man, but handled by fucking Matchroom.
I think that AJ is he's just an impressionable guy, man. Someone remarked, I think it might have been 78, shout out to 78 Sports TV. He said that AJ might be a clone or something that they created in a lab. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I watched the promotion of the fight, right? And when he arrived at Madison Square Garden, you know, going into that first fight with Ruiz, he was looking at this. This is actually on video. You could go back and watch I guess it was the special or whatever. They show him arriving on the scene. He's looking at the photo of Ali. And they were saying something about Ali being 26 years old or something like that on the photo. And he was like, somebody asked AJ, they said, how old are you? And he said, oh, I'm 30. And then he turned to somebody and he said, I am 30, right? He's like, how old am I? Dude didn't even know how old he is, bro. Seriously. And he wasn't joking. It wasn't like he was like trying to crack a joke, because he's not that smart to crack a joke like that. But he actually turned to somebody and was asking them how old he is.
I mean, B-Man, he's like you just said before, he's been programmed for the hands. One thing the brothers over the other side have got to understand. I mean, you know how it is for Wilder over there, but over here, with us being such a small country, and boxing is over here one of the main sports. It's not in the top 4 sports, but it's definitely in the top 5 sports. But with us being such a small country, they get behind the fighters over here. And with AJ being behind Sky Sports, over here, he's pumped daily into the media that he's, like I say, he's the main man. And that's what, when that's pumped 24/7s on TVs and all kinds of different social media, that he's this, that and the other, people believe in that hype. And I don't know how it works for Wilder over there. And that's the reason why I say that AJ's been perceived over here to the British people, this, that and the other. But as a hardcore fan, I wouldn't call myself a hardcore fan, but I'm the next best thing to an hardcore fan. I know, I recognise bullshit when I see it, and I recognise real when I see it. To me, yeah. He's never been that to me. He's always been pumped to the UK public as propaganda, like someone said before, a robot or something like that. And when you've got that big, massive team behind you like Sky Sports, people believe in the hype. Because I do deep down really think that AJ actually, I'm not saying he's a great boxer, but I definitely won't say he's a shit boxer.
No, he's a good fighter, but he's above average. Yeah. But he's not
exactly, B-Man. He's
not what they've made him out to be. You know,
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. He's not elite.
And the thing about it is, if they got good people around him, as far as training him and putting him together or whatever, as far as a fighter, he could possibly go to another level. But I don't like the fact that they've anointed him without him going through the process. You see, because that's why he slipped on the banana peel back in June. Because he wasn't what they said he is.
Exactly, B-Man. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. He's pumped over here, bro, to the UK public as he's this, that, and the other, but he isn't. He isn't that fighter what Sky and Hearn and Matchroom are trying to make out that he is. He's an average fighter, like you just said, bro. And that's why I said to you, I'm not a hardcore fan, but I recognise real when I see real, and I recognise shit when I see shit. AJ is an average fighter. He's a lot better fighter if he was away from Matchroom and wasn't pumped as this propaganda, this is the next best thing. But that's the reason why, like, you go on people's channels and you see all these trolls, AJ this, AJ. Man, I'm a British person. I ain't got nothing against AJ. I've got nothing against him. My gripe with AJ is fucking Hearn. Hearn and his fucking bullshit tactics of dodging.
Yeah, Hearn has really hurt the sport with his presence.
Exactly.
With his rhetoric, with his approach to how he conducts promotions, and also how he conducts his rapport with fighters. All of that is severely lacking. All of it.
If Eddie Hearn spent so much time fucking bullshitting the world that AJ was this, that, and the other,
I'm just wondering when is the other shoe going to drop for him, because he's done so much that has hurt the sport.
Yeah, totally agree, B-Man.
When are some of the more prominent people in the sport gonna just say, you know what, let's get this guy out of here, you know?
Stormy, we spoke last night, bro, and I was all glad for AJ winning, bro. He did what he needed to do, but going back down that fucking road again now from 2 years ago, brother. We're not going to see Undisputed. We're not going to see AJ fighting Wilder. We're not going to see that. We're just going to see bullshit now, bro. I said last night on my live stream, I said, all good for AJ winning. He did what he needed to do, but one thing I could guarantee is that Andrew Ruiz, if Andy Ruiz had won last night, I definitely believe 100% Andrew Ruiz would have lost the belt and tried to have made unification with Wilder, because I think he's that type of guy. Whereas with AJ, I just don't believe that we're ever going to see. Same with Tyson Fury, that fucking clown. I still don't believe that he's going to fight Wilder. Unless I see signed, sealed and delivered for, what is it supposed to be, February 22nd. If I see that, then, okay, yeah, I believe it. But you just can't trust these people.
That I agree with, man. That I agree with. Macadon One put in the chat, he said, AJ is not threatening. And Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, just put in, he said, yeah, my man Lozz is on. Yeah. You know, it's something that we have to look at, you know, going into the new year, that he probably won't hold all those titles, because there are guys who've had a chance. And I said this before even he took the loss against Ruiz. I said that the way he's going about his career, and they're stunting and everything and ducking, he's giving these younger fighters a chance to grow and to get prepared. And I said this a few months back. I said, eventually, these younger fighters are going to be on the cusp of being in contention for those belts he has. And he won't be able to beat them all. And, there's several belts. There'll be several number one contenders. And a couple of those contenders are going to be legitimate threats. So his time is short.
Yeah.
In the meantime, on the other side, the champion that people, don't want to support, don't want to respect, don't want to give the proper accolades to, don't forget, has 10 title defenses already. 10. And that stat is growing because whoever gets in the ring with Mr. Wilder is going to have their heads handed to them. And, he's doing it the real way. They're not setups. They're not, fights angled and he's taking guys with a handicap and this and that. He's just doing his business. And the worst part of it is when you got a person like White who's out there talking the talk he talks and everything. Wilder relishes those guys because they get his juices flowing. And that's going to be one of those spectacular endings that'll be highlight reel material because that's what guys like that do for him. It's two things he really relishes. The contesting of a championship against someone who's supposed to be a perceived threat or good or boogeyman and all of that. And the other is the guys who talk all that crap and end up being one of his number one contenders. And he go out there and turn the lights on their ass out,
Yes. Do you know what, B-Man? I've been friends with you, Mike, football player, Jay as well. I've always seen one thing, what I've always believed in. This is the reason why I follow Wilder. I've always believed in this thing that Wilder, as much as he is an outspoken person, I've always believed in the thing that Wilder is just, he's not just because he's outspoken, he believes in himself. I haven't seen that in a champion, a heavyweight champion. Excuse me, probably since like Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, like them days. I've not seen that for over 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So when he speaks, you can tell, tell that when I watch interviews, I'm a bit of a geek, man. I watch interviews with AJ, I've watched interviews with Vakin, Wilder, Ortiz, all the fighters. But one thing what's always struck me, and this is what draws me to Wilder, one thing what's always struck me about Wilder is when he talks, you can see in his body language, you can see in his face that he means what he's saying. He isn't here to play games. He knows he's not going to be around for long. But whilst he's around, let's make these fights.
Yeah.
Because, exactly, he's a knockout artist, man. And I've always said this, B-Man. I said, people over here, wherever he is over in America, I don't know because I don't live in America, but people over here say, oh, yeah, he's a bum. He never fought anyone, never done this, never done that. I'm telling you now, right, as I'm on this airwave talking to Stormybman, you go and look back at Wilder's career, and I guarantee you in 10 years' time, people will appreciate what he was actually about. Tyson, all over again, but a better version of Mike Tyson. People say to me, how can you follow Wilder, Lozz? He's man, shut up and watch what the guy does. Watch what he does. Luis Ortiz is fine. This is the reason why I stress all the time. I ain't trying to dick suck anyone or anything. I'm just putting it out for real. The Luis Ortiz fight, the second fight, losing all them fight rounds. And people said to me, how did you get that, Lozz? But I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming Just like the Tyson Fury fight, I knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time. And when Wilder said that fucking brilliant statement, boxing needs to be 1,000% against me. I only need, 100%, whatever he said, I only need 1 second. And that's the thing what I love about Wilder. You know it's coming. You know, whoever Wilder fights, you know they're touching the canvas. You just know it. And how can you like that? He believes in what he says and he does it in the ring. Oh, man. I like AJ. I do like AJ. I'm not going to front and say I don't like him. I like AJ, but I don't like bullshit and the antics what come outside the ring with him. To Mike earlier on Mike's live stream, I said, Mike, I've known you for nearly 2 years, and we're sat here talking about the same thing we was 2 years ago now. Coming now, B-man.
Yeah. Well, hey. We'll just wait and see what happens, man. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, says, stop playing with that damn knife, Lozz.
I can hear the clicking. Hear that. That's a stress relief, that B-man.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to go ahead and get some last words from you. And when we close out, I want to talk to you behind the scenes on the Discord. So don't jump off yet, okay? But let everybody know where they can find you, Lozz, and tell them how to get a hold of you on the YouTube here.
Yeah. You can get hold of me quite easily on YouTube, Lozz D. That's LOZZ D. Punch Out TV on YouTube, or you can find me at Lozz Dawkins on Facebook. Very easy to find me. I'm always here. I should be doing more videos and more live streams, but I got a few family issues, but I'm always on YouTube. But it's very easy to find me, Lozz D Punch Out TV.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's going to bring us to the end of our little collaboration here called The Kingdom and the States, where Lozz D and I come about to talk about boxing from the East and the West and what's going on his side of the world in the sport and over here from the U.S. side. And we will do more of these collaborations in the future. This was a launch for us to do this, and we hope to be able to raise the quality of how we bring this content to you in the future. But it's been a wonderful first go round, and I want to say salute to my brother Lozz D for helping me with this, and I want to say salute to everybody that appeared in the chat, those who have given us the likes, the thumbs up, and the people who have followed us and who have followed Lozz D's channel. And please take a moment to go over there and see what's happening on his channel, because he's doing some good stuff too. And for you brothers and sisters that have come in a little bit late, sorry that you didn't get a bigger notice on this, but this is something we had talked about behind the scenes, and we had said we were going to try to get it out there going. And it was a wonderful opportunity coming on the heels of what transpired in the boxing world this past weekend. So I want to say shout out to the LDBC. And for those of you who came in a little late, please catch us on the archive, because we'll be doing more of these collaborations in the future, but that's going to be it for today. So for Stormybman, we're going to sign out and say peace to everybody. Have a good evening.